Car is loaded up and we are ready to head back home. Greetings and welcome back on the channel here. What we're doing today is I am back where the location is, where the 32 is. We are loading it up, as you can see, loading up all of my crap and getting ready to load the car up as soon as we put the windshield and the back glass in it. So once that is done, we're going to be taking it back home so I can start a final assembly. First of all, before we get to the rest of the content in this video, what I wanted to show you is I failed to mention that in the weeks leading up to going and get the car, what you're going to notice in these pictures here is I did manage to get a really good finish on the hood. That was left over from the previous video. Everything but the hood turned out great. The hood had some problems with cracking, so I ended up sanding it down, totally refinishing it, and got the clear coat back on it. So it is looking good as well. Now back to the other stuff. I got to wondering, I was wondering if one can would be enough. Could be that too. Yeah, see, what I can do is if I can find some L-shaped trim or something, I can run a bead around the edge of it and just cover it up. It'll be fine. That'll work.
Look like it's touching right there.
It's because it isn't. Well, okay, windshield is in. The tape, of course, is to secure it until the urethane has a chance to cure, but the windshield is in it. Car is loaded up, and we are ready to head back home. All right, we have made it back, and as you can see, my shop is at absolute critical mass. But what we're planning on doing today is I'm going to take some measurements and go get some V-belts for the pulleys here. I'm going to mount my starter, the headers, plug wires, plugs, and start to get a rough idea of where I want the fuel regulator to go, somewhere on the dash. And then we're going to look into mounting possibly the air conditioner. Don't know if I'll get to all this today, but we're definitely going to get started. Okay, very quickly, what we've got done so far, got the starter in place, spark plugs are in, carburetor and air cleaner are mounted. Looks much better, starting to set up a little higher. It doesn't sit quite so low now with the carburetor in there and the actual air cleaner. I can always add a 1/2-inch spacer on the carburetor if I need to. I've got plenty of room. Also got the windshield wiper motor in place, so it is good to go. The assembly part seems like you do less, but actually looks like you do more. So it's kind of funny how that happens. Now everything that you add on looks like you've actually done something. The V-belts are a bit of a conundrum. I'm beginning to lose my patience with local auto parts stores because they don't carry anything anymore. I had to order the V-belts from Amazon because nobody near me carries V-belts for cars anymore. And of course the size that I ordered is a close approximation, so I may have to send them back and get larger or get smaller, as it may be, as is usually the case with this. It's just irritating to me that the local auto parts stores don't carry crap anymore. But it is what it is. All right, let's keep going. And now we have the fuel lines are completely run. This is the send from the electric fuel pump. This lowers the pressure down to 7 pounds per square inch for the carburetor. Running to the carburetor, this is the return line back to the fuel tank. So the fuel line is run. I still have to run the fuel vent. That's going to take some doing, but we'll get it done shortly. Overall, pretty happy with the progress today. Starting to look better and better. Okay, what we're doing in here is we're doing the preliminary work to mount that air conditioning system, which I've got my holes mapped out on this template. I've got to be careful because it might interfere with my gauges if I put it in the wrong place. So I've got the dashboard in place, mocking that up. I also managed to get the hole enlarged just a little bit. All it took was a file to get that taken care of. So the brake pedal is done. I'm about to take some measurements to determine how long the throttle cable needs to be, and then I will get that on the way. Again, got the windshield wiper mount in, and I'm doing some other preliminary stuff. I think I'm going to hold off on getting the air conditioner mounted because I've got to get some more fittings, because I am going to add a bulkhead. It looks like, and if I can get over here without killing myself, it looks like the best place for the hoses to come in are going to be on this ledge here. It's going to look a little weird with the hoses being that close, but reality is there's really no other place to put it. I will, of course, get a little bit better look at it as I go and see where everything's going to go. Of course, I've got to put the radiator on in order to get the condenser lines in place so I can run the condenser lines and the condenser hoses. Just a lot to do. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to call it a day with this video. I'm going to take some, for the next video on the coupe, I'm going to take some measurements for the throttle cable, get the throttle cable in, get that hooked up since I've already got the brake pedal in. I'll get the steering column and the steering linkage hooked back up, the headers on it, and some other things as well. But I think I've taken it about as far as I need to today. The prop rods, of course, the support rods that go from there to the radiator, I've got those soaking in a anti-rust component to clean the rust off of them, and then we'll clean those up and paint them. Then I will mount them, of course. But all that'll be on the next video. Thanks for joining me today. Hated to stop right here, but I've at a stopping point, and to be honest with you, I'm still a little bit tired from the long drive up and back yesterday getting this car back into the shop. But as you can see, we've already got quite a bit done. I'm going to, as I noted, get the mounts for the support rods. Probably going to mount the air conditioner box inside the car. Start getting ready to map out where all the hoses go, run the plug wires, get the radiator mount and everything else. The belts for it, one of them will be here tomorrow and the other one will be here Monday, so it'll probably be next weekend before I get back on this car, because I want to have the radiator in place to do all of that. Thanks for joining me. Come back and see us. Be sure and hit subscribe. We got a lot more coming. Thanks.